Hello, welcome to the G.I. Joe New News Classified Reviews. My name is David T. Allen, or if you would like, Super Dave 817. If you would like to see more of this content, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button for future videos. Thank you and enjoy.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the G.I. Joe New News Classified Review. We are up to number 26, good old Flint. All right, so this is going to be a pretty quick video. I don't have too much to add to this one, but we will start off with Dan Klingensmith's series of books to get ourselves going. Flint was obviously a big character in the run. He's very popular with the fans. So there's a lot of different turnarounds for him, a lot of different character color studies and stuff for this version of Flint. So Flint was a big character also in Action Force by Palatory in England. He was slightly different and he looked a lot similar to this, but he was a bigger character as a leader in England and Europe through Action Force and Palatoy. So there's a lot of folks that are possibly watching this that are from Ireland and England, and so that is a character that is popular over there. So let's see what Dan has to say about Flint. All right, it says alternate names, Raider, year release 1985, designed by Ron Rudat. Like the first 6 or 7 years, Ron Rudat designed most of these characters and figures. So Dan goes on to say, as a member of the Special Forces, Flint was originally labeled as Hero 2, which with shotgun bullets lining his chest. Flint was designed to be both an intelligent member as well as a fearless leader of the Joes. All right, so there you go. And another peek at some of these character studies, different versions of him. So this is from Creating G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero, Volume 7. All right, so then we're going to go into Carson's book is next. We're going to show off Flint's first vintage package. Let's see if we can get this. Yeah. There's his first vintage package. And now you'll notice that this is a much better version of that package than a controversial version of the package that's going to be coming soon. Hasbro has done a new vintage version of this, and there was a big controversy over that package. It looked horrendous. It was we're not sure what was the problem with it, but it looked like maybe AI was involved. There was multiple more fingers than there should have been. It looked really bad. It looked really bad. And so eventually we'll show that as a comparison down the road. So Flint got his start in comics with issue 37. Now this is famously one of the advertising comics that was released for the toy line. They advertised the comics, and this is one of those comics they advertised, and it was the first appearance of Flint and My Crimson Twins, and so they are on the cover. I remember this distinctly, with the ad rolling out and coming at you with the comic. And so they had done I think three issues prior to this. This might have been the fourth one. So that was Flint's first comic appearance with the Real American Hero through Marvel Comics, written by Larry Hama in the 80s. And then he also first appeared in the Sunbow animated series, G.I. Joe, the the Weather Dominator. Now, I misspoke and I said that Lady J was in the Mastodon, but she was also first appeared in the Weather Dominator. So both Flint and Lady J first appeared in the Sunbow miniseries, The Weather Dominator, episode 1. All right. So then we're going to get to Flint's original vintage figure. All right. So I don't have all of his accessories. I do have his backpack. So I'll put that on him. Yeah. So he's a little bit shaky. He's not in the greatest condition, but he's not like terrible. So there's your first vintage Flint with his backpack. I don't have his shotgun. So this is a pretty decent figure. I think it looks really cool. He's I think a warrant officer, and he has his beret, and he's got the bullets, like they said, Ron and Dan said in the book. So he looks really cool, and I don't have any paint wears or anything on him, so I think he looks pretty clean. Right. So we're gonna move on to the classified figure. So again, we are opening these for the very first time. This is number 26. And it's blue because it's a Joe. And then you can look at some of the artwork on that side, and it kind of rolls around to this side. It looks really very serious, very dramatic artwork for Flint. But he's a very serious, dramatic character. So then we have the back of the package. Let's see, where did they add Flint in here? Oh, there he is right there. He's like below Destro. He's been added. So there you go. So we're going to open him up, get him out of his package. There you go. Put that over there. Now, like the classified, like all the classified, he is being classified up. So this is not exactly what the vintage one looked like. It's pretty decent, I would say. It's very reminiscent, but because he's got a lot more pouches and a lot more greeble going on with his secondary, and he's got these knee pads and stuff like that. So and his shirt is not always rolled up like it is with the vintage. So he's got this secondary that goes around, and it has like this big pouch on the side. I'm guessing that's where his weapon's going to go in there. It's kind of like a backpack, but not. So that goes over his main chest. That does. You can see that there's a harness there, and then he's got another belt secondary here, and that has some things on it as well. And then he has a third. He's got a leg thigh holster there on his left leg. So he's got a lot going on with him. He's got a lot of deco in him as well. There's a lot of camo deco similar to the vintage, the green and black. The difference is he's got more color with the boots, more color with this secondary because there's a little blue up there. There's a lot of greens and grays. The bullets are all colored like they are in the vintage. He's got the brown gloves like the vintage as well. And the belt is brown like the vintage. So there's a lot of vintage elements here in this. Hey, Lone Dragon, thanks for joining us. I'm glad to see that you finally made it back so we can talk. Did you buy all these recently just to review them? Have you been collecting them this whole time and never opened them? Are you putting figures you already opened back into the boxes to review? So I have been buying them all along. and I have not opened them this entire time, the 5 years that I've had them. And I explained at the beginning when I started this series that I was running out of space. So I'm going to open up one whole set of these and store them. I'm not going to put them back in the package. I've flattened the packages. All the packages will go into another box and stuff like that, Lone Dragon. And so that is where we're at with that, because they're taking up too much space. So I was getting 3 and 4 of these in the beginning. So I have a lot of duplicates of each of them. And so I've cut myself down to 2 of each right now. This is 5 years into it now. So now I'm down to 2 of each, and I will still continue to open one whole set. All the duplicate ones, I'll probably end up selling them at a further date down the road at an event or whatever that I attend. So I'll just stick with the 2 sets, one sealed and one open. But I wanted to show you something because you're here. I've been waiting for you to come back so I can show you something that you asked for. So let's see. I hope this works. Yeah, I think it will work. I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to show you all of my pops. You wanted to see the pops. And so there's Sergeant Slaughter Leatherneck over there. There's Scarlet, Dr. Mindbender. There's the Cobra Commander with the Fang. There's Roadblock, Beachhead, Zartan, Snake Eyes. The Bat's up there. Over this way, you got the Baroness, Destro, a different Snake Eyes with Timber, Cobra Commander, Storm Shadow, the Red Ninja, Storm Shadow version 2, Beachhead, another Snake Eyes version 2 Snake Eyes, Serpentor, and Duke. And I am missing 2 for the complete set. I am missing the Cobra Commander Hooded, and I'm missing the Black Ninja Coup version of him. So there you go. I don't have the Atari games, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I don't have the Atari games, Lone Dragon. Sorry, but yeah, the packages they do take up a lot of space. So that's why I've had to reduce what I'm trying to put into my home. So this is a project for multiple different reasons. It's to help me reduce my load in my house. It's also to give you guys an opportunity to see these figures 5 years after, ask questions, see some of the interesting things that went on with the characters over that 5 years, hence, and do deep dives and explain a lot more about the characters and where they came from, and the different versions of them and the comparison and contrast of them. So there's a lot of different purposes to do this series, and I thought you would enjoy these aspects of these and not just get a review of a classified figure, because that has been done by other folks. And I just did not want to do the same thing other people did. So I came up with this idea to do more of a deep dive into these characters and these figures. And I hope it's entertaining. I hope everybody's enjoying it. So if there's something you want me to add to these videos that I have not yet added, I will try to incorporate those into the videos. So back to Flint. This is Flint's first version. So there you go. All right. So then we have his beret. So his beret was removable. There you go, his beret. And so we're going to stick that on his head. And the vintage was on his head. It was sculpted on. Yep, snaps right on. Snaps right on there. No problem. So then we're going to have his famous shotgun. Obviously, this has been classified up There's all kinds of greeble and stuff on that, but there is also some paint deco on that on both sides. There's a little gold up there. There's brown because it is a shotgun. So we're going to put that in his holster. I'm not going to put that in his hands. All right, we're going to put it in his holster. There you go. So we put it in his holster in his back there. It's kind of like a backpack almost. So I hope you enjoyed all those Lone Dragon, the pops. You asked to see them, so I did that for you. I'm not going to do that for everybody, but you've been a good supporter of the channel, watching the videos and asking questions. So I did that for you only. I will not be doing that for everybody. So there. And so then he has a pistol. I did not put the pistol in the holster. I put it in his hand because that was an easy one to put in his hand. So there you go. There's your flint. But he does have the holster. So let's look at this figure a little bit. There's a lot of layering. Again, tons of layering. You can see all that stuff on his boots, his pants, his front of his boots there, layering. Now he has pretty much all the articulation that all the other figures has. He's got the shoulder rockers. He's got the muscle swivel here. He's got the double pin elbows, the double pin knees. He's got, oh, he does have the wrist swivel there. So no, he doesn't. I misspoke. He does not have the wrist swivel. He has the hand swivel, but he does not have the wrist swivel. So I'm curious why the one figure had that. He does have the thigh swivel. He has the double pin knees. He's got my favorite foot rocker that I like the most. He's got a chest articulation there, but you can't see it with that secondary, and he's got the waist as well. So I'm pretty sure most figures are going to have that, but some of them are going to have that secondary, and it's going to be hard. He does have these cool shin guards, black shin guards. So I'm wondering who that's from. That might be from one of the Cobra troopers, actually, the shin guard. He's got the waist, the crotch, same articulation most of them have there. He's got a lot of different layering on that backpack that's holding the shotgun. You can see all that paint deco on the belt and the secondary, all the layering and stuff like that. Looks really, really good. This looks really, really nice. Yeah, the shotgun's a little bit classified, Crusty Old Crow. The shotgun's a little bit classified up. It is not what you would term a traditional shotgun like the vintage one. It's a classified up shotgun, but it is what it is. With the weapons and stuff like that, they're much more futuristic. But thank you for commenting and letting us know that. So yeah, there are little things about these classified that are not exactly 100%. So that's why when we end up getting the vintage versions down the road, the comparison and contrast to these is going to be interesting to see what they do differently. If they make it more like the vintage, or do they kind of do a middle between the vintage and this classified. It's going to be interesting to see how they get to that point. Yeah, they were originally supposed to look like the Operation Blackout game, but once that first initial wave came out, people were like, no, we don't like all that gold, we don't like all that silver, we don't like all the laser blue highlights and all this. They switched, they quickly transitioned into a more middle ground. It took them, like I said, it took them about 10 or so figures to get to that middle ground. It didn't get there until about the 20s. And the Viper Island, the Cobra Island exclusive Target line is really where it changed, and we took a turn. And now from then on, we're much more in a middle ground for a while. But yeah, that first 4 or 5 figures for Operation Blackout, yeah, people weren't happy. But the brand team, they transitioned and they swiveled and pivoted very fast. Viper Island, yeah, the Viper Island line. I was just reviewing those not too long ago. I can't remember. And we're going to be going back to Viper Island. No, not Viper Island. No, Cobra Island. Cobra Island. Viper Island. He's another podcaster. Oh man. So yeah. So there's Flint, and because I just did Lady J the other day, we'll put Lady J and Flint together because they're partners. Yay! So there's your classified Flint. There's your with your classified Lady J. Um, Cobra Island Viper Island is a Canadian review, yeah, and Joe News Channel, yeah, that's true. You're right, Krusty Old Crow. Ah, don't want to go back to Viper Island. Yeah, there you go. That's funny. No one wants that. That's funny. I agree with you on that one. No one wants that. So, all right. So there's your Flint classified version 1 of Flint. And there's his vintage. So that's that. And here's his package again. Number 26. So we're going to be doing some special videos here very shortly. We're almost to a 100 subscribers. You guys have been great. I think the digital renders of Buddha are phenomenal. I like it when they do the deluxe figures and they incorporate two versions of the character. So we're getting his early version, and then we're getting his ceremonial version. I like it when they do that with classified, and they have the ability to do that now. They did it with Tripwire. They've done it kind of with Snowjaw. They added a lot. They did it with the Snow Serpent as well. They've done it with a bunch of characters where they've added a lot of extra stuff when they've done the deluxes. I think it's phenomenal. Buddha is a really underrated character. In the Devil's Due era, he really came into his own in those comics, and he's become a fairly big fan favorite from that point. So I think they did a great job, and there's a lot of cool stuff coming for Yojo June very soon, and we will be getting into that very shortly. I'm going to be doing a G.I. Joe New News review episode, and we're going to be covering a lot of that Yojo June stuff, and I'll be doing a comic review, G.I. Joe New News comic review coming up this weekend as well. So look forward to both of those videos. But we are very close to that 100 mark. He's going to get gel very extremely well with Slice and Dice set, Knife Force Quick Kick as well. He's Keanu 47 Ronin and John Wick Love Leather. Yeah, he's an excellent figure. Crusty Old Crow, thank you for that. So yeah, we're almost to 100 subscribers. So we're gonna do a couple of special review episodes. We're gonna cover my favorite top 10 characters, going down from 10 to 1, and it's going to be interesting to see where they all stack up in there. So then everybody can see what I like what my favorites are. And we're also, because I promised a long time ago when I started this series that I would do a Street Fighter Jada figure opening of all my Street Fighter figures. So we will start with Ryu probably. So once we get to that 100 subscribers, we got a couple of fun videos to do there. And I want to thank everybody that's contributed over the last year or so since I started the channel. And you guys, Lone Dragon, Crusty Old Crow, for being in here, Michael Gene Fleming, and a bunch of others. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me, and it helps the channel and the algorithm and so on and so forth. I'm sure you've heard it a lot. So share, like, subscribe, click the notification button if you can, because that helps the algorithm and all that stuff. And I look forward to seeing you guys with the next video. Our next classified review is going to be 27, and I believe it is Major Blood, and that's going to be a controversial video because of some recent things that have happened. So thank you very much, Crusty Old Crow. I really appreciate it. It seemed like it's not a lot, 100, but it makes me proud that I've gotten to that point, and I'm very happy. The people that are here, that are involved, that want to watch these, are there watching them with me and stuff like that. So it's not like thousands and thousands, but it's a good benchmark, and I'm proud of that, and I look forward to getting to that point. So thank you again, and we will see you on the next one. Yo, Joe!